I hope we left you all in suspense last week. Welcome to another continuing conversation as we continue USS Challenger's Test of Honor, the mission brief we're playing from the Political Actions Mission Brief Pack. I'm Michael Dismuke, a freelancer for Star Trek Adventures RPG, along with being a lead writer on Captain's Log RPG. And we are going to get right into the action. But first, we want to go ahead and reintroduce our characters in case you missed last week's show. I suggest you go back to last week and watch it if you want the full exciting story. But let's go ahead and start in reverse rank order. And so let's introduce Jim Johnson.
Hey everybody, Jim Johnson, project manager and line editor for the Star Trek Adventures RPG, Captain's Log Solo RPG. I am playing Ensign Lanier Tenen, the resident Betazoid communications officer on the U.S.S. Challenger. And I'll kick it over to Meric. Introduce yourself, please.
Hello, Meric Moir. My pronouns are he, him. I am a freelance writer for the Star Trek Adventures RPG. And tonight I am playing Lieutenant Commander Burke Van Jaxa, a Tellarite chief engineer on the U.S.S. Challenger.
All right, that takes us over to Dr. Viral.
Hey everyone, Al Spader. I'll be playing Dr. Viral here this evening. And I'm also a freelance writer for the Star Trek Adventures role-playing game.
All right, and I think BC, you were taking on two characters when last we left.
Indeed, I'm BC. I make the character creator. I started off the game last session playing the Commodore, Nella Zen. However, she got a little bit sick, and so I switched over to playing as a supporting character, Commander Xanthus Thoravik, the Andorian First Officer and Security Officer.
Very good. So if this was the TV show, this is the part where they would say, last week on Star Trek Challenger, you know, the module's voice would come on. And so last week we found out that while patrolling the borders of Federation space, the Tellarians were making a claim that the USS Challenger had violated their borders. Now, the computer said they hadn't because it seems like they were in the right galactic positioning. However, their sensors said they had because of the placement of certain spatial anomalies. Subspace buoys were saying, yeah, this planet's over here and this static ion clouds over there. It ends up that they had a delegation come on board. The Tellarian ambassador Kevdar with his attaches Rimtak and Sullivan came on board the ship, and as he told it, he said that they were concerned that some of their space was violated. They expected Starfleet to keep to the treaty that they had set up about the borders. They said their colonies and their borders, their trade routes have been violated. And he showed with his data card that according to his data card, those borders had been violated, which created a lot of confusion on the ship. But of course, before this even happened, before he even stepped foot on the ship, something happened. The captain, herself a joined Trill, but that's not public knowledge, just Dr. Viral knows, started experiencing some sort of strange nausea and flashbacks to her other life, her Trill symbiont's other life in another reality. As the Act 1 was ending, Dr. Viral got stuck with the same symptoms. All right, so I'm just gonna quickly go through the scene traits to set this up. We left with nausea, potency level 2 for Zen and Viral. We have a static ion storm out there, which is intensity 3 potency. We also had a distress signal from a Tellarian freighter, the same one that attacked them at the beginning of the last episode. The other traits were that the Tellarian delegation is highly irritated, which isn't unusual of them. And by the way, they are chauvinist pigs, as we saw how they treated the captain last episode. The Tellarian freighter, after trying to get into a skirmish with the far superior USS Challenger, left with engines failing and shields fluctuating. And of course, we wanted to find out where this Tellarian freighter was after it retreated into the static ion storm, and so JAXA had created a state-of-the-art probe to try to track down those scurrilous pirate dogs for doing an attack on the ship. So with all of that, any questions from the players before we dive into Act 2?
I do have one. Was there also something where the Tellarians were going to one of our outposts and we're going to spring an attack there as well. Like we had like a ticking countdown.
That's a big deal because Captain Czar was on his way. This is a different captain who's kind of a rebel of the Talarians who's heading toward the outpost at, let me get the name, Sigma Chlor, which is apparently a Federation outpost post-treaty. However, according to their sensors, it seems like now it's sitting in Talarian space. So Captain Czar was going out there to wipe out the Federation citizens there, the colonists. Good catch. So right now we have a situation where that captain is heading toward the colony, but at the same time, you have to answer the distress signal of the freighter that already attacked you. Kind of crazy stuff going on here, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and open this scene on the bridge. I'm gonna assume that knowing that the captain and the doctor are in the med bay, that Commander Thoravik is on the bridge taking the command chair. Is that right, BC?
Definitely.
Okay. And then I was going to also assume that Venjaxa is in the engineering room at this point, which might be good because we may need another supporting character on the bridge in a moment. Ensign Tenon, Jim, your character on the bridge, I would assume?
Yeah, at the communication station.
Very good. And then let's see here. That would then, I would ask if Lieutenant Kamal should be activated as a supporting character at the helm, and who wants to play them, Al or Meric? Because you don't have a character in the scene right now.
Whatever you feel like, Al.
Yeah, I'll take Kamal.
All right.
Okay, cool. All right, so we have a helms person. This is, of course, on in the Quickstart guide. You can all look at this. This is where we're playing our characters from. All right, so in a sense, we have characters all in the scene at this point that everyone's playing. If we need to activate another character like the science officer, the only PC able to play them would be Meric because it's on the bridge and his main character, Jaxa, is in engineering. Okay, so we got that all sorted out, which is important to set up before going into the scene. All right, I think the first thing then is we end up on the bridge. Thoravik in the command chair. You have the distress signal. You're on the borders of that static ion storm. This is a treacherous place to go into. What kind of actions might this first officer take?
Sure. Can I just establish one thing up front, which is I think that we've left those diplomats in the conference room with a security guard, with maybe 2 security guards. But my security guards have been well trained to appear like major domos and to appear like they're helpers, but make sure that people don't get into any trouble.
Really good point. Ambassador Kevdar would ask to be on the bridge, maybe with his attaches going back to their quarters, if that's okay with you.
That seems reasonable. If we have to talk somebody down at some point, I think we can have Kevdar on the bridge with us.
Okay. Sounds good.
So I think there are a handful of orders that I would probably give. So the first thing is I would get our communications officer to get on the communications network to talk to Sigma Chlor to warn them about a possible imminent attack, and encourage them to be actively checking their long-range sensors and communicate with us at any sign of danger.
I love that. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that an opposed action because I'm going to assume that Captain Czar would be trying to jam signals so they couldn't call for help, as his villains often do. So I'm going to go ahead and roll for this NPC. We're going to consider them proficient 9 and 2. So they'll be rolling, their target number is 11. And then of course they'll roll on the Talarian starship with his comms 5 plus security, which is 5 and 2. So let me do that. And this is going to set up the difficulty level for Ensign Tenon to have to crack in order to get this warning off. Does that sound fair to everybody? All right, cool. Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm doing 2 dice for Captain Czar. Ooh, rolled a 2 and a 9. So that 2 because, well, no, it's a character. It's not the ship. So they have no applicable focus in this case. So far that's 2 successes. Now I'm going to roll for the ship target number 7. rolled a 14. So this is going to be difficulty 2, Jim, for Ensign Tenon to be able to get a emergency message out to the colony.
Okay, so I would say this is probably reason plus engineering.
Makes sense. Mm-hmm.
And I have a focus in communications technology, deep space communications technology. So I would think that would be appropriate. And will the ship assist me with communications? Yeah. So if someone could roll a d20 for the ship, I'll roll my 2 dice. I'm gonna give you 1 threat to buy an additional d20.
That puts me at 11 threat.
Yep. So I'll be rolling 3 d20, and then if somebody could roll a d20 for the ship here.
I rolled a
Which will be
d20.
comms plus security for the ship.
What's the
Whoever
target
rolled
number for the ship?
The target number, because the comms is 7 and the security is 3, so it's 10.
Oh, missed it by 1. I got an 11.
Okay.
Okay, we always want to let the main character lead with it first. Though.
Sure.
Go ahead, Jim.
I have 2 successes, and since the computer, how's the computer assisting me with? It's using what comms and.
Yeah, but Meric rolled it and failed. He said.
Yes, but I have technical expertise, so if it's using computers or sensors, it can re-roll.
Ooh, good job.
Ooh.
Oh wait, no, it was using comms and security.
And security, okay. Well, then I'll re-roll one of my d20s then instead of the ship. I have a choice of one. Mine are theirs. So I'll roll again. I got a 12, and that's enough for a 3rd success.
Woo!
So 3 successes.
Brilliant, very good, very nice. Okay, so you get 1 momentum based off of that.
Yep, and then because I have untapped potential as part of my my character, I succeeded at a task for which I bought 1 or more additional dice by any means. I'm going to roll a d20. I rolled a 3, which is under my reason, so I gain a bonus momentum.
Wow.
That we can use. Now, bonus momentum cannot be saved, so I don't know quite how that would be applicable here.
Create a trait or
for one, no, I think creating or modifying a trait is 2, isn't it?
right, but you have
you
2
did
because you
generate.
earned 1.
Oh, right, that's true. Yeah, let's can we do a trait of like something related to the strong signal breaking through the jamming that could be kind of persistent for a little while.
Yeah.
I figured out the frequency that they were trying to jam us on, and I've built in a subroutine that will modulate our communication signal to prevent him from jamming it again, unless he buys off the
That
trait.
sounds good. How does Tenon's tenacious comm skills sound?
That works. I dig it.
Okay, so this kid's wicked on this. So talk to us a little bit how you did it. What would it look like after you got those orders,
Yeah,
Tenon?
so Ensign Tenon adjusts the earpiece in his ear, and his fingers fly over the console in front of him, a la Uhura in Strange New Worlds, and adeptly identifies that they are being jammed. He says, "Commodore, we are being jammed by the not Gnosticans, Tellarians."
Correct.
I'm writing a subroutine now to counteract that, and I have successfully sent the message, and we are working with rotating frequencies to prevent being jammed again.
Very
Excellent,
good.
Jensen.
And I added that in our Discord channel. I went ahead and added that, so you'll now see it listed in the traits there. So you all have a record of all current active traits
Oh, nice.
that are active in the scene. And then back to you, First Officer.
So the next thing I would ask is for Kamal to figure out a plotted course that's the fastest course to get to Sigma Chlor in the event that we get a communique that says that they're under attack.
Okay, and who's doing this again?
Kamal?
Got it. Okay. So
Plotted course.
I'm gonna make that. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I believe plotted course now is just create a trait, right?
Yeah. So
create a trait that is a plotted course.
right. So I want to say too, it's kind of an automatic action in here because you're currently outside of the ion storm and know how to get there. The more concern is plotting a course through the static ion storm to get to the freighter. That's going to be because we know the ion. Normally that would be again a create a trait, which is 2. I know this is going to scare you, but the ion storm is 3. So it's actually going to be difficulty 5 in order to plot a course to this freighter. Now, you all have some certain traits you may want to look and apply, but give it a try. Now, Al's playing the helm officer at this point, Kamal. So this is difficulty 5 the way I stated it, but do you guys want to brainstorm how you're going to make it a little easier to get to that freighter? Any traits you're seeing that could really help out? And remember, you can do an assist too. Somebody can always roll an assist in addition to the ship's assist.
I'm sorry. What would we be assisting?
Well, trying to plot a course to the freighter through the ion storm, which is currently difficulty 5 because of the static ion storm 3 potent trait.
So I would suggest that we launched a probe into the storm. Correct?
You
Can
already
we
have one.
use the probe as a jump point for my my navigation sensors.
Good. So that would take it to difficulty 4. Are there any other traits? This is the importance of traits that you can weave into the story that could bring that difficulty down even more. Look under the
I can make a suggestion, Commodore. The Commodore is I may have missed a memo. Is the Commodore in command, or is it
Ravic?
Ravic, commander.
Commander. Commander, could we modulate the sensors to pick up the engine emissions that are failing, since the Tellurian freighter had damaged engines when it went back into the storm?
That feels like an excellent suggestion.
Wow, that would take it to difficulty 3. Any others when you look at scene traits and traits that might bring it down? This is a lesson for people watching how to use these traits. I see one more.
Sorry, I had to be pulled away for a quick second. Where are we at?
Sure. So right now it's difficulty 5 to try to find the freighter in there. They're trying to figure out which traits might bring that difficulty down. So far, they've applied the probe that Jaxa had sent in there, using that to bounce a signal. They also had a great idea of tracking the failing engines to find those engine signatures, which bring it down to difficulty 3. And I'm asking you one last time, look at traits to see if there's maybe one more that might bring it down to difficulty 2.
Presumably the fluctuating shields would help us as well.
No, I don't think the fluctuating shields is good enough. Are you looking at both columns of the traits? There's scene traits and there's traits.
Is there a science officer on the bridge?
That's distress signal.
Thank you. The distress signal. Good. So we're at difficulty. That would bring it to difficulty 2. And I just wanted to stress that to everyone because I'm a big traits person, and it's up to the players to come up with the narrative as to why these difficulties can maybe be brought down, right? And so that was my lesson there. Jim, you had a question?
I was going to ask if there's a science officer on the bridge.
If it was activated as the 3rd support character out of 4 possible, yes, and that would have to be played by Meric.
And that would be Lieutenant Zoe Hernandez, yes?
I mean, we could activate her. My question was, could we push the envelope of credulity and fold in the fact that we have this we were able to modify our comm signal to prevent the Tellurian from jamming us? Is there some sort of tenuous connection between our comm signal and their attempt to jam? Okay.
No.
Okay. Worth a shot.
Good. Worth asking. So I think we're at difficulty 2 now for the helm officer, which is being played by Al, in order to go ahead and do a daring plus con with ships. And we'll go ahead and let Jim roll for the ship, which in this case would be computers plus con, in order to see if you can all plot a course to this freighter.
All right. So daring plus con, eh?
Oh, I'm sorry. Jim can't. Oh no, Jim can roll for the ship. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. I no longer need my push the limits talent, so we have 1 momentum in the pool, or do we spend it for that trait?
No momentum currently.
All right. Difficulty 2, needing 15s. Let's add 1 to threat. I'll roll a 3rd die. We can get some momentum back. Right. So there is an 11, a 13, and a 14. All of which are successes. So that's
Wonderful.
Okay, and my
Pretty
target number was 10, and I rolled an 8, so that's one more success.
Woo!
Okay, so you have 2 successes on that. Do you want to
2
bank them?
momentum.
Spend 2 momentum, yeah. So do you want to bank it, spend it?
I want to bank it.
Okay.
Just so
All
that we
right.
can have some. But I also am going to roll for my untapped potential.
Mm.
See what happens. Rolled an 8. So it says if the roll is equal to or less than my daring, which is 11, 8 is less than 11, we gain 1 bonus momentum.
Woo!
Doesn't that, and it has to be spent right away?
It says 1 bonus momentum. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Bonus momentum cannot be saved.
bonus momentum cannot be saved. So let's use that to create a trait with another momentum that says path through the ion storm, or
All right.
charted through the ion storm.
Charted.
So we'll still
through.
put 1 into the pool, spend the other 2 on that trait.
All right, very good. I go ahead and update our list of traits and our momentum and threat, and I'm going to go ahead and drop that into our Discord so you all have the updated list there. Fantastic. Commander, back to you. We want to keep in mind that you have a turn, and so does Jaxa, who's over in engineering.
Yep, I actually want to do one more thing, which is to alert sick bay that we may potentially have injured people, and I need them to make an assessment about whether or not the illness that they're currently experiencing puts us into a medically compromised position. I suspect that we're going to discover that they're suffering from the same affliction that we are, and that by taking the members of that ship onto our own ship, we will be able to gather more data about what this affliction is. But I think the doctor needs to make a judgment and let us know what that judgment is.
Okay, we'll deal with that in the next scene, or in the next scene when we go there with the nauseous doctor and the nauseous captain. All right, and what action do you and Jackson want to take, or you have any other?
So I want to wander over to the security console and run a simulation to give myself an assessment based on, Kamal's path to get to Sigma Chlor, how I might guesstimate what their planetary defenses are. Basically, I'm trying to create a model that will give me a sense for if we suddenly got the message from Sigma Chlor that they're being attacked, how much time do we have before they start taking major casualties, and use that to factor in, how big a threat they might be under versus rescuing the ship. Presumably, we'll have to do some greatest good for the greatest number calculation there.
Okay, are you trying to create a trait with this?
I suppose. How would I articulate that trait if it was a trait?
Yeah, I need to envision how it would benefit you later on in the game.
I suppose what I would really like is a clear plan of execution that allows me to maximize the amount of time I have to get to Sigma Chlor.
Okay, so you're basically really project managing this to give you an advantage that you want to beat this guy to the colonists.
Exactly.
Okay, I could see that. Okay, I think we would have to make this a reason plus security. And do you have any applicable? Well, you do. You have shipboard tactical systems, which could assist you with the simulation, right?
Yep, that seems like a good option there.
Okay.
My medicine is kind of awful, but my security isn't bad. What I do want to do is be able to generate a point of momentum so that
yeah, if you get it right, it's a difficulty 2, so if you succeed, you automatically create the trait.
Yep. Okay, so just because I want to be able to unlock my intense ability, I'm going to buy an additional die with a point of threat.
That puts us at 13 threat. This is just the way I like it.
Okay.
Act 2, threat building up.
Reason plus security gives me a target of 12, with the 5 being the happy. Okay, this looks good. So I got a 4, a 3, and a 15, 16. The 16 is not good to me. but the other two generate 4 successes.
That's right. Wow. So that gives you the trait. We're gonna call it what? Thravix.
Clear executable plan. And I will say that because I unlocked my intense species ability, I also managed to generate an additional bonus momentum.
So you guys have 3 momentum in the bank right now.
3 in the bank, and if this is bonus, then I can't say that. So now the question is, what do I do with it? Can I ask questions and obtain information?
Sure.
To figure out something to the effect of, what sort of planetary defenses do we think Sigma Chlor has? How successfully are they going to be able to defend themselves if the attack suddenly started happening and we're not there?
Against one Talarian ship, they probably could hold them off for about 5 to 6 hours.
Okay, that's a good piece of information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good, very good.
There's our bonus momentum.
Yeah, and that could come into play later. So these executable plans, suppose they're about to come under attack, you can maybe somehow weave a way to use your trait to help them out. So buy more time or something. So I really like that. Plus, you have an open comm signal to them too. So communications is open. Don't forget that trait when combining those. I'm all about traits. All right. Any command for Raxa as you're all about to go into this ion storm?
Just want to say, nice job, BC.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't done so already, launch that probe.
It's been launched. It's already in there.
Great.
That's how you were able to use the bonus. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got a question. What would Jaxa think about damages that this particular ion storm are likely to do to the ship? Like, what systems are in danger?
Great question. With ion storms going in, you're bound to have problems with regenerating shields. Energy phaser weapons might be super sensitive, along with like tractor beams. And you might experience some power fluxes. So certain things with ship's power might actually be more difficult. How difficult? Static ion storm potency 3.
So I think what I would probably do is I would send like one team of crew to like oversee the phasers, and then I would personally be watching the power levels on the shields and the shields and the engines probably.
So it sounds to me like you're trying to make a trait of specially attentive engineering teams on those power systems.
I think so. I think like Jaxa is down like in the engine room being like, all right, Lieutenant you and Ensign you, let's go. And we've got a double time. And he's like shouting and like getting people, and it's like everyone's grabbing packs and running down halls and stuff.
I love it. If you succeed with this trait, I think we'll call it watch those EPS relays.
Oh, I love it.
So let's go ahead and make this therefore sounds like a lot of commanding going on.
It feels like
in this, right? So I think this is presence. I think this is going to be your presence plus command, because you're organizing your teams. And then why don't we get BC? Why don't we have you roll for the ship? To me, this sounds like it would be structure plus engineering, right? So the ship will represent your teams at work.
All right. And my target number is 12. So, crew, can I spend a momentum to get a third die, please?
Yep, go ahead.
Cool.
Okay, that puts us at 2 momentum, right? Am I correct? Or 1?
That puts us down to 1 because BC asked the question. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right, here we go. With a 12, well, it's excellent that I bought that die. Do I have any focuses that apply? Computers, reverse engineering, Starfleet protocol?
Because you said you involved ordering around your crew, yep, I'll allow it.
I love it. Then that means I get 3 successes as I rolled a 2, a 9, and a 15.
Nice. And let's get that ship roll.
And you said structure plus engineering?
Yep.
Okay, it's 1 success. I rolled a 4.
Wow. So did we just get 4 added to the pool? So there's 5 in the pool?
Yeah, and then create the trait for 2. Watch those EPS conduits.
That's right.
All right.
Well, it was automatic. We had a total of 5 successes, right?
I did.
Wait, how many?
1, 2. I did 3. BC added 1, so 4
Okay,
successes.
so we had a total of 4 successes. It was a difficulty 2 to create that trait, so we get 2 bonus momentum. So there's 3 momentum.
Yeah. Cool.
No. That's how you do it, people. That's how you prep for action. I want to say that was
Let's
brilliant.
go.
I love it. And building up those traits, because I got a lot of threat and I'm going to be punishing all. Now, as a game master, just so everyone knows, I'm looking at these traits about how am I going to knock these out to make their life harder. Right? That's what my threat's for. That's how I think. All right.
For us players, if you need to visualize it, right? The characters are doing good, right? We're doing good stuff in the scene, but the music is building in the background. There's a sense of dread building up because that threat pool is, increasing and increasing. So there's a dark cloud hanging over us because something's going to happen. We just don't know what it is yet.
That's right. And really what it is now is that scene of turning that ship into the ion cloud with this. You got these skilled Starfleet people who just figured out how to find this freighter in distress, right? And I think no better than BC should navigate this scene for us. What do we see as the USS Challenger heads into the static ion storm?
I think we are all leaning forward in our chairs with, wrinkled foreheads, with great, anticipation and serious, somber looks on our faces as the ship, falls out of the clear line of sight of the open space field into the murky, electrified static storm.
Exactly. Let's have each person give one description of what's happening on the bridge or where they're located at as they're going through, so we can envision it. So adding on to BC's description. So what does Ensign Tennant experience at this point? What is he seeing from his vantage point at comms?
So Tennant is every now and then adjusting the earpiece in his ear, and he's alternating between monitoring his console and managing communications inside the ship, and also monitoring that comm signal that he sent out. And then he's also trying to catch as many glances at the main view screen as he can, because he's still an ensign. He loves this thing. He's in space. He's in his element. So he's trying to get the wonder of the universe out the front window or the front view screen, and then also managing his job too at the same time.
Oh, excellent. That view screen is full of yellow and white static energy. You can just picture Wrath of Khan, but yellow and white, and then Mutara Nebula kind of stuff going on. Al, what does Kamal, are they experiencing to add to this scene?
So as Kamal is, getting ready to fly the ship into the ion storm, he just kind of leans back in his chair, very casual, and just a little hand tapping a couple of buttons. Like, this is no big deal. He's done this before. Smile on his face.
Okay. Love the confidence. Love it from a Lieutenant JG. Back in engineering, how's JAXA experiencing this?
Just with BC's description of it, I suddenly have this picture in my mind that JAXA comes from like a Tellarite maritime tradition, and like as we're going into the ion storm, he's watching the power fluctuations and he starts to kind of hum like a bit of a sea shanty. and if he's got like engineer crew who have served with him for a while, they're kind of humming along.
Ooh, they never done that on Star Trek. They should do that on Star Trek. Why have they never done that? Oh my God, that's so good. O'Brien and Bashir are the closest who ever came to singing songs like that. That's a really good idea. Okay, I'm going to switch.
Picard did it once.
Okay.
Picard, well, it was not really Picard. It was somebody pretending to be Picard. But I need to hear a Tellarite sea chanty someday, Meric.
Yeah, right?
That'd be great.
Oh, I'll put that on the list.
Let's cut over to sickbay now, because we haven't forgotten that in medical we have Dr. Viral and we have the captain of the ship. And Viral, I want you to describe what you're hearing in sickbay as this is happening, hearing and seeing. We've talked about what everyone's seeing, but let's create the whole round thing. What's Viral hearing as you guys go into the static ion storm?
So we got that message down here saying that we should be preparing for casualties. So trying to like focus on the Commodore and make sure that they are stable. And I'm hearing like the rest of the medical team like preparing beds all around me, but it's like very like it's muted, right? It's almost like because I'm starting to feel so ill, like I can't really focus on all my senses at once, and I'm really just trying to stay focused on what's happening with the Commodore right in front of me. So I know that there's stuff going on, but it's kind of like, it's muted, like it's underwater, like I can't really hear they're specifically saying and what's specifically going on.
Very nice. Ugh, my stomach's oogie thinking about it. And then finally, Commodore Zen, the captain of the ship. What are you hearing and experiencing, knowing you're going through your quantum resonance issues?
Yeah. So I think that through the disorientation, Commodore Zen is trying to get the doctor's attention, saying, "Doctor, like, is there? My place is on the bridge. Is there like a stimulant or something you can give me to just get me on my feet?"
And the answer would be, just so I can answer it, she's done everything she can so far until we get to the end of the extended task. I'm going out of context here. Until we get to the end of the extended task, that nausea stays.
Sure, I buy that, but I think the Commodore is defying reality here.
Discuss it between the two of you. I want to actually hear this discussion between you and the Vulcan doctor.
I need an assessment, Is there something we can do to get me back into the captain's chair and still protect the symbiont?
I don't believe that is possible right now, Captain. The sickness is not anything that is known to us, and what's worse, it would appear that it's starting to affect myself as well.
If we have casualties coming in, how do we prevent them from being affected?
We will enter ourselves into quarantine procedures together, and we will have to put our faith in the rest of the crew.
Okay. This is the appropriate time then to roll on the extended task, because we've only done one roll on it so far. Keep in mind that this is a difficulty 3 with 1 resistance that we have on this. However, because of the nausea, this is now a difficulty 5 because of the nausea too that Viral is experiencing. So again, I task Viral and also Captain Zen, who's in this scene, to determine if there's any other traits that might bring that difficulty 5 roll down. So this will be, by the way, when you roll on this, it'll be reason plus medicine with the ship's computers plus medicine.
All right. Well, I would say that because this is some type of quantum temporal sickness that is apparently impacting us, it is not something that has been explored very much. So I would argue that my cutting edge medicine talent would come into play here. So whenever I attempt a medicine task with a difficulty 3 or more, I may spend up to 3 momentum to reduce the difficulty by a number of momentum spent.
Whoa, that's kick butt.
So how much momentum do we have in the pool right now?
3. So,
let's spend 2 and knock it back to difficulty 3.
Wow, that was kick butt.
And then I'm going to spend the last one to buy a die.
All right.
All right, and this is what plus medicine?
This is going to be your reason plus medicine with the ship's. We'll let BC roll it for the ship's computers and medicine.
All right, target number is 17 here.
Woo! Someone's smart.
That's what she was made for. That's an 8, an 8, and a 7. So that's 3 successes.
Good use of a talent.
Yeah,
the ship get.
Excellent.
You got 1 success with the ship? Fantastic. All right, so 1 momentum back in the bank. And you have successfully, with the ship's resistance now, with the resistance on that task, so it was that you would only make 4 progress. If you want to make 5 progress, which would take you to your, hold on, let me see. Gotta count this now. 14, 2/3, 6, 2/3. Yep, you'll be good. We'll be able to get you to your second breakthrough.
If I spend the last momentum that I just made.
Yes.
Yes, do it.
Right. Okay. So that it costs you 2 to add to the progress track. So it'd be 1 momentum plus
Yes.
1 to threat.
Yes.
Okay. This is getting
No
good.
question.
All right. So that takes us to 14 threat, 0 momentum, 14 threat.
Feeling
And I
good
knock
about
off-
this. Feeling good about this.
So as I start enacting quarantine procedures around us, I am going to be looking up like some databases that maybe haven't made it quite to the forefront of medical technology yet, and start looking into temporal sicknesses and things like that.
Good. Okay. And I'm going to have the event that corresponds to this toward the end of the act, just so you know. So that's my event on this. All right. Fantastic. Good research. What you're noticing, just because you got to a breakthrough in that, you are starting to notice it's not only just quantum resonance. I'm going to call it quantum tug. So people can write that down if you want to. And I'm going to go ahead and actually add a scene trait into here called quantum tug. And basically, it's like being pulled towards something. You don't know what though, but there's definitely, if this was physics, it'd be something like gravity that's pulling something in, and you're noticing it's affecting the captain, who has this Trill symbiont from another reality, and it's also affecting you, which we know you have abilities that perceive beyond the physical, right? And so it's just an interesting quantum tug. That's the way you would describe it right now. All right. With that, ready for the next round? Doing good? Okay, cool. So you're traveling through this. Now, the compliance, by the way, when you enter the ion cloud, while the ship is in the static ion cloud, the difficulty range, the challenge range is now 18 to 20. Got that? The complication range is now 18 to 20 while you're in here because of all the different conditions. You're navigating toward the freighter, and sure enough, after about an hour, you're arriving into the area. Sensors are sketchy, and you see this damaged freighter just listing through space. What actions do you take as you come into visual range of this?
Commander will punch one of the buttons on the chair and say, Jaxa, we need an assessment. Can we transport through this mess?
Let me see if I can get a lock, Commander.
And the way you could describe it however technobabble you want to. So this normal transport tasks apply, but you got that static ion storm potency level 3 to add to that.
Okay, so I do have the talent Transporter Chief. I can get them to function in extreme circumstances. So, given the delicacy, when I attempt a task to use, repair, or modify a transporter, I may add 2 threat to reduce the difficulty of the task by 2 to a minimum.
You guys have a
0.
kick butt crew, I just gotta say.
Who wrote these characters, right?
Did you write them?
No, I didn't do the Quickstart characters. I was just kidding.
Okay.
Most of them are courtesy of Fred Love and Nathan and myself. Team effort, but give
job.
all the love to Fred.
Good job.
There you go. Good job, Fred.
So you could report back with your, right now
Yeah.
this is a character-to-character assessment of how.
Yeah, so I'll say, back to Thoravik. Commander, the Ion Storm is giving us a lot of trouble locking in. I can push through it, but we'll be putting the ship under a significant amount of strain. I'm worried about the power.
Okay. So what are our options then? We send over a shuttle? Or maybe we come alongside and attach an umbilicus?
It can put us right next to her, Commodore.
I wouldn't recommend a shuttle. They'll have less shields than we do, and that's already a challenge. Transporters or umbilical?
As you say that, I just want to add, as you say that.
Oh, no.
No, the game master here, I spend 2 threat, and Jax's probe, finally the shell is compromised, and it explodes.
Yep. Oh.
All right, let's do this the safest way possible. Kamal, execute the plan. You're going to come alongside. We're going to see if we can attach an umbilical and send a team over.
Very
Excellent. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to, as a minor action, activate the ship's thrusters to give me a little bit more control here, and then attempt a maneuver major action to put us right up next to the ship that is damaged. Now, you said that this is going to be difficulty 3 with a comp range 18 to 20, correct?
You're using maneuver, right?
Right.
So control plus con task, usually it's a difficulty 0, assisted by the ship's engines and con. The static ion storm will make it difficulty 3.
Okay.
Correct, because it's a potency 3.
So in this case, I will push the limit and give you 1 threat,
Okay.
and which says I can ignore increased difficulty due to environmental conditions.
Wow. So difficulty 0? Wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was difficulty 0 then.
Yeah.
Oh, you're kick butt for that. Okay.
So I'm back to, so 0 up to 3, back down to 0. To make the maneuver task, I'm just going to roll 2 dice and try to put us. But you do.
What did you spend the threat for? You just added to threat to evoke the talent, not for the extra dice.
Correct. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So the talent requires you to spend 1 to threat, clearly, because you are pushing the ship to.
But then shouldn't you just buy the dice and give the threat, so at least you have 3 dice?
But I'm making it difficulty 0, so I don't need any extra dice, right?
Well, yeah, but it gives you the chance for more momentum. To me, if you're going to play the action out and you're going to spin the threat, take the dice. Right?
But that would be giving you 2 threat. And I only want to give you 1 right now.
Got it. Okay, this is a new talent for me. So you just pay threat to reduce the difficulty period. You don't have to take a dice with it. Got it. Okay.
Right, from the environment.
So I understand.
That's a 7 and a 5. My con is only a 4. So that is 2 successes to run right up alongside the ship for umbilical attachment.
Okay, let's have BC roll engines plus con, right? We need to roll the ship too.
Oh, yeah, for the ship.
Mm-hmm. And you're on mute, BC. 1? Okay, cool. So she's signed. Fortunately, I know sign language, and everyone knows the number 1. So that worked really well.
3 successes total. We'll put that momentum in the pool. We are in the perfect plane to attach umbilical.
Nicely done.
Very good. While you're doing all that, me and BC are doing American Sign Language. This is for anyone who's watching us on YouTube. That was funny. Okay, so describe this awesomeness to us. I can't just let you just say you attach an umbilical. What do we see happen in the show?
So that we cut away to an exterior shot of the ship, and you do see like the thrusters starting to stabilize our drift towards the enemy ship. We are let's say there's a little eddy of gas of highly charged particles that we're just riding down very slowly and softly. And then as we get right up close, you see Kamal again leaning back in his chair, two taps and then a click, and he's like, "We're ready, Commander."
Okay, that umbilical can get attached. You're positioned well, Commander. More. So the umbilical's not attached yet. That was just maneuvering into position. So, Commander, and Ambassador. The ambassador Kevdar, is standing next to the chair. He says, "I highly suggest you hail them. Talarians do not like to be boarded unceremoniously."
We'll certainly do that. We'll make every effort to make your people comfortable as we're rescuing them. Ensign, please make the hail.
Aye, Commander. I will open up a hailing frequency.
All right, the bridge, smoke, fire. Things are chaotic over there. What? You've come to rescue. Why? Federation has to, and then Kevdar steps in saying, silence. I'm also on board. Oh, Ambassador Kevdar. The Federation, the starships will assist you. What's the situation over there? He goes on to explain that, of course, the power is failing. In fact, I'm going to add now 2 additional scene traits to this. Life support critical on Talarian freighter, structural integrity collapsing, and this is already in addition to the engines failing and the shields fluctuating.
So we need a quick assessment. Do we think that we need to send a team over to help them come, or can we just instruct them to come to our ship?
Are you asking me? Because I'm telling you all now, I just started an extended consequences track, which is going to be trouble track level 9, where every round of action adds 3 to that trouble track. So basically you have 3 full rounds in order to figure out something. And I will be, after the end of each round, I'll be adding 3 and letting you know what the setback is at the end of each round.
And what were those traits again? I got shields fluctuating.
Yep, I'm gonna throw it into the I'll throw it into the Discord right now for you.
Sweet, and then I will update it for the people watching.
There you
go. All right, I'm gonna suggest Jaxa. I need you to lead a team of combined damage control and medics to help both stabilize and evacuate the personnel. Evacuation's first priority. If some stabilization can happen to help us save the ship, so much better. But that's a second priority.
Aye, Commander.
Okay, so attach the umbilicals will be 1 action in the first round, right? To get that done. And then...
Is that something we can do from the bridge, or do we have to be down, like...
No, you can do it from the
docking port?
Yeah, I'll allow it from the bridge. Let's kind of...
Kamal, attach the umbilicus.
He already did an action this round, so we're going to need to have someone else do that.
Can I do them from like the bay, like with my team of engineers and security?
Yep. This is going to be because I'm going to give you some bonuses because of the helm officer's great flying. That this is going to be difficulty 1, so this will be for you control plus engineering with ship structure plus engineering.
Cool. Difficulty 1, going for... Oh, so I got the success. I got 1 success. I also rolled a natural 20.
Oh. Okay, 1 success so far. And for the ship, structure and engineering, BC, do you want to roll that? No success?
It's like the 4th 4 I've rolled in a row.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah. So you generated 1 momentum, which will put you now at 4 momentum. And I'm going to go ahead and, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and create a trait, a complication. What do you call that stuff? Oh, turbulence. Yeah. So turbulence on the umbilicals. Okay. So connecting them, you feel fluctuations, and you may want to give a warning to your captain, Jaxa, by what you're observing. What do you want to warn?
Yeah. So as Jaxa is like extending the umbilical cord, it's definitely like a heavy fist into the thing, and then goes out, and he's watching it, and he goes, "Oh, that's looking pretty rough." Jaxa to the bridge.
Go ahead.
Hold it as steady as you can. This umbilical looks a little rough.
Lieutenant.
Mm-hmm. Good. All right, we saw the actions. We need action from our comm officer and our commander.
That's a reasonable thing to do.
Who's going to be the team going over there, by the way? Because that's movement. So that would take an action if once you form the team.
Yeah, I would assume that I got ordered to go over, so I'm gonna hoof it over there with the team.
Is Jaxa going it alone?
Well, so alone, but with a bunch of NPCs that are going along as well to help carry people, etc. I'm gonna wander over to my security console again, and I'm going to do some scanning to see if I can identify like how many people are on the ship and get approximate clusters, etc. Clusters and locations if I can.
Great question. Okay, so that's going to be sensor. Let me look that up. That will be a sensor sweep. So reason plus science, assisted by the ship's sensors plus science. This is going to be difficulty. I'm going to give you a bonus just again because you're so close proximity. It'll be difficult. Normally it's difficulty 1. I'm going to make it difficulty 2 for that action. So reason plus science plus sensors and science.
Yeah, so reason science are really bad values for me.
Trust the dice.
Easier said than done.
Unless you want the tenant to do it, your communications officer.
How are you with sensors, Ensign?
Though I do want to let players know, I usually make people just roll because on the show they do.
How about this? This feels kind of important to me, so maybe it's time to pull out my point of determination. Is my value ready for action apply here?
I think so. All those drills and protocols for rescuing ships in distress.
Okay. I would like to.
We do have momentum you can spend.
Or momentum.
Okay, I'll do that instead. Let's forget the point of determination.
Okay.
So my combined reason science is 9. 3 feels like I have. If I have 3 dice, that feels like that has relatively good chances of success. Let's give it a go.
Okay, so buying 1 dice?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so this is no, maybe this is better than I thought. Okay, so I have a 3, a 6, and a 16. Sorry, a 15. So that's 2 successes. The 15 is dead to me, but the other 2 are quite good.
Good. And then Jim, you want to roll sensors and science for that? See if you can generate momentum.
Sure, you said sensors and science.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be 9, 12 is the target number. And I rolled an 8, so that is 1 success.
All right, put you at 4 momentum. And so you asked about how many life signs over there. There are 10 life signs over there. And I'll just let you know, none of them are in engineering.
Okay. And approximate numbers of clusters, are they all in one spot? Are there like 3 clusters?
They've because of the hail that went over, they either are on the bridge, there's 3 on the bridge, and then there's 7 that are heading toward the umbilical.
Okay. Jaxa, I'm sending you this this mapping information to your tricorder.
Okay.
Thank you, Commander.
Good. And then we have Ensign Tenen. Does he have directives?
I have not been given any orders, but I thought I might be useful anyway. And one question: does the trait that's active, Thoravic's clear executable plan, is that related to the to this umbilical recovery?
No, just the colonists.
Okay, then I would like to attempt to create a trait along the lines of like creating a support team that can help the evacuation more efficiently, like a disaster recovery team or something on the ship. Like I'm using my communications system and internal systems to call up a backup team who can help support getting people off that ship efficiently. So I would like to attempt to create that trait.
Oh, I would definitely have to put this under control plus I'll say engineering, because this is a standard thing for them to do. So this would be control plus engineering, and this time I'll make it with the ship's comms and command.
Okay,
right.
Someone control the ship for me. Control plus engineering is target number 15 for me. So I will attempt that. I'm going to I think I'll spend 1 momentum to add a dice to that.
Okay, that puts you at 3 momentum.
It's down 1. And so my target number is 15, engineering 4. I rolled a 6, a 3, and then I rolled an 18. Does that impact the complication range because the complication range is higher? Okay, so we do have a so I've got 3 successes and a complication, and then whoever's going to roll for the ship, please roll for the ship.
So who wants to roll for the ship? Okay,
Al's got
go
it.
ahead and roll, Al. Comms plus command.
No, I did not get a success.
All right. I'm going to take that complication. I'm going to increase the potency of turbulence on the umbilicals to turbulence on the umbilicals 2. All right. So increasing the stress as at this point, Jaxa skids to a stop right at the point of the umbilical with his team. And you're seeing the whole thing shake and you're wondering, ooh, this could snap at any moment, you know? So something to think about to increase the intensity here. All right. Any questions?
So I rolled a 3 on my untapped potential, so that gives us a bonus momentum.
Okay. You're back at 4.
Well, it's
Would
bonus,
you-
so I'd have to spend it right away. I
Correct.
think I need to spend that momentum to create the trait, though, right? Or does creating the trait just happen with the successful task?
Oh, it was difficulty 2. So
We had 3 successes.
oh, so you earned a momentum, which makes that 4 then. So that gave you 4. So now you have a bonus momentum. You have a 5th. Basically, you have 5 momentum right now. 1 you have to spend right away. The trait automatically gets created, which you called what again?
A support team, a support evacuation team.
Support evac team.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have 4 momentum and a bonus momentum now.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Can I create another trait? By
To you.
spending,
Yeah.
would I have to roll for that again, or is this just creating a?
No, 2. You can spend. You have 5 momentum, so you could spend each time you spend 2. You can create traits.
Okay, well then I'll spend the bonus momentum and another momentum to make that disaster recovery team potency 2 in order to counteract they're not just coming in to help rescue the people, but they're bringing in braces and support structures and stuff. So I bolstered it with an engineering team to help stabilize the fluctuations in the umbilical.
I love the visual on this. Love the visual on this.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm thinking Star Trek 4, where they're trying to shore up those from breaking with all the hurricane.
Yeah, how'd
That's
they
what
do
I
with
saw
that,
as
by
soon
the
as
way?
you
How'd they
said
do
it,
with
yep.
that? How'd that turn out for them, by the way?
Not so good.
Fantastic. Your team's doing really well. Okay, I think at this point, we won't go to Viral because she already rolled on an extended task. We know she's busy. However, the captain is in sick bay, kind of monitoring all this. Captain, what do you want to do at this point? She's thinking, everyone, for those of you on the podcast.
Yeah, good question. I had a thought, but but my thought about the next action was really going to be an engagement with the doctor.
You could speak to them. Speaking's automatic if you want to use that. Yeah.
What I actually wanted to do was to help out the doctor's next role on the extended task.
Please. Could you do that with some sort of trait that makes the difficulty easier for her?
I was thinking about using my role as a commanding officer to give the doctor another point of determination.
So you would hand your determination to her for her next role?
Yes, so that's something that the commanding officer can do.
Yes.
Give my point of determination to the doctor. I believe the doctor's already used her
Correct.
point of determination.
So they're at 0. Yeah. You want to do that?
I will do that.
You have to do it with a pep talk. I demand it.
Yeah. So, rather than just a pep talk, I'm going to play the role of, okay, like, walk me through this, because, I kind of feel like maybe if you start talking about this, you'll engage more parts of your brain on it, and, it'll try to spark ideas that you hadn't really thought about before verbalizing some of this. And so I'm going to, like, listen to her describe what she understands about the problem so far with, the goal of trying to help where I can, but I'm not really a doctor and can't really help. But the real goal is to just get her to lay out everything in a clear sequential order. The hope that might actually spark some new insights or new ideas.
How does Dr. Viral feel about that?
We're friends. Come on.
Yes, Captain, I believe that might help to keep my focus. I do also believe that perhaps this illness is affecting you due to undisclosed information, and I feel like perhaps it would be beneficial for us if I were to see your thoughts.
Hmm. Okay, that's an interesting spin. Not sure I follow you that logic there, but if you think it's beneficial, I'm willing to go
I'm
for
more
it.
concerned about Zen's health.
Mm. I
That's
like
a
that.
fair assessment. I like that. I'll go there.
How should I roll? I'm gonna allow a roll on this. I'm gonna bend it a little bit and allow a roll on this, um, for the fact that it plays really well into the story and something I was gonna have you roll on anyways, BC. So I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna spend some threat here to create an opposed action. So I'm gonna take. I have 13 threat right now. I'm gonna go ahead and spend 3 of that so I can roll 4 dice. And this is going to then, because I'm going to have you both work together, because the mind meld does that. You become one, where Viral takes the lead, and then BC, you'll do an assist on it, to determine if you can get some kind of inclination as to what's going on here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and roll that. This potency, by the way, on this one is 15. Just so you know, this what you're dealing with right now. My target number is 15 because I'm aware of what you guys are all dealing with. I rolled a 9, a 3, a 5, and a 12. So that's difficulty 4. Right off the bat, I'm going to have to, yes, listen to this, people at home. Nausea 2 plays into this. This is now difficulty 6. Yep, it can happen in the game, a difficulty 6 action because of a trait like this and what you guys are trying to pull off. So, Dr. Viral, this is definitely going to be control plus your medicine. This mind meld, right? Is that mind meld? Control plus science. But it says control plus science on your thing. So this is going
I'm
to be,
fine with that.
yeah, control plus science. And then BC, I'm going to have to make this interesting. This is going to be your reason because it has something to do with the past. Your reason plus your command of
Those are
yourself.
kind of
Because, okay,
reasonable roll.
right?
Correct.
So this is now difficulty 6.
All right. And we have no momentum in the pool currently, or do we have a bunch?
3 momentum, and you have a determination that was granted to you
Right.
by.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do. My highest calling is a healer. I know we're all aware of that, and I'm very concerned for, due to the many extraneous circumstances surrounding the captain, that I need to keep them both safe. So I'm gonna buy 2 dice with momentum,
Takes us down to 0.
and use my determination to change one of these to a 1. Do I do that now or after I roll?
It automatically counts as 2 successes. It's an automatic 1. So
Okay, so
you don't
there's
have
an
to roll
automatic
it at
one.
all. Yeah.
All right, so I'll roll my 3 other dice here. Target number-
4 other. Oh, wait. 4 other dice. You bought 2 dice. No, you're right. 3 other dice. You're right.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Gotta
So
get
one of
used to
them's a
the reroll.
1, technically. And this is control plus science. So 14 is my target.
One thing I want to say too, everyone, this is not the difficulty range, the complication range of 18 to 20. This does not have to do with the static cloud. So the comp range is only 20 on this.
All right, so I got a 3. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, a 3, a 1. So there's 3 successes, 7, and a 20.
Okay.
So you have 3 successes so far. You need, okay, wait. But you also have the 2 insta
So
success.
I've got 4 successes total so far.
Whew.
Okay.
All right, and a 20. That's great.
I'd like to entertain a couple of possibilities here. Would negotiation play a role in this mind meld? Okay.
Wait. Give me a second, please. I got to make sense that by Act 3.
I'm willing to accept no. That's fine. It seems a stretch to me.
I can't. Yeah, I can't yet.
Okay.
Yeah, Go ahead.
Since I've been recently channeling the spirit of Cranston Sill, the interstellar trader and huckster, I would like to suggest that my joined talent gives me the focus of easy communication.
Yes, and yes, and I implore you both to think about your traits and how they could have made this easier, less difficulty. Think about it. This was difficulty 6, but did you have any traits
Ooh.
on your trait sheets that could? Because you just said joined and still symbiote. Why? I'm teaching everyone who's watching this game right now. Don't forget the traits of your characters. Could that made a difficulty 6 down 1? And that applies to you, Al. You're a Vulcan. Can that trait make telepathic stuff easy? And so this is actually really a difficulty 4 action because of her calling out the seal and you being a Vulcan.
Oh, all right.
I'm only going to give you 1 giveaways on this. I'm encouraging everyone, look at your traits, know your traits, and make the narrative, right? You called it, I'm a Vulcan, I want to mind meld. Boom, right? Okay.
Thank you, Game Master.
I'm just saying, we're learning. I'm teaching. I want people to watch us and learn how to use your traits to empower your game. Okay.
Interesting how much traits have jumped up in importance in 2nd edition.
Yes.
Right,
Okay. So I'm giving you this one. This is actually difficulty 4 now. So you've already won the difficulty 4. Now you're looking for. Wait, you had 4 successes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're only trying to get 1 success here.
Sure. But now that I have easy communication, it's my focus. Maybe I can get 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a 3, which is underneath my command of 5, and definitely underneath the 50.
Where's easy communication as a focus? Where's that at?
Oh, that's because I am joined, and I am channeling the experience of my previous host, Cranston Sill, who was an intergalactic trader, and
And you can do this twice per adventure, right? and you didn't use it last adventure. Last act, right? You can do it twice per adventure. So this is the first time you've created
right.
Oh, this is awesome. Yeah.
We did one in the last adventure that we did, but not
Correct.
this time.
Not this one, because you can do it twice per adventure. So that gave you 2 successes at this point then?
Yeah, exactly.
6 total.
So
Exactly.
6 total. So you generated 2 momentum off this. I'm going to take the threat, the comp you rolled, and I'm going to go ahead and make my threat pool 12. So I'm adding it there, right to the threat pool. That's how you work it, folks. This is what happens. This is so key. All right. This mind. Go ahead, BC.
Can I throw one more thing in?
Please.
I am a veteran, and since I just spent a point of determination, if I roll a d20 and get less than or equal to my control rating, I can get my point of determination back. Unless you're going to tell me that I can't use 2 talents in 1 turn.
No, I don't do that. I let people use multiple talents all the time. My question is, did you spend it or did Dr. Varral spend it?
I think I spent it to give it to Dr. Morale. So I think the way that it's described in the book says, you may spend determination to grant any other character you can communicate with 1 determination.
Okay, yeah, you're right. If it reads that way, you spent it. So go ahead and roll to see if you regain it.
Sadly, that did not.
Okay, still. This is mentally, I hope you all appreciate how mentally taxing this is. You're nauseous, things are going on. Your Trill self from another reality experienced something similar to what's going on right now on the ship. And it was a force of such great willpower that it's similar to this, that you're sensing that what's going on right now in space is not purely physical. There's also something going on with willpower. All right. And it's just, that's all you're getting from it. And the mind meld that you're getting, Dr. Varral, is this experience in the past where there was actually a species in the other universe who actually could terraform with pure willpower. Okay. And so that and it's very vague. It's very, very vague through here. You're nauseous. You're having these recollections from this, from previous. But that was such a traumatic event. What you experienced there, such a traumatic event that you're starting to recall it.
Okay. This is making me wonder if this. If
That's
this
all you
story
get. Cutscene. Cutscene. All right.
Cutscene. I did have one question though.
Yeah.
Since we have 2 momentum left over, is there an opportunity or a possibility that this mind meld being successful between the 2 of them might have? Could they spend that 2 momentum to buy down that nausea trait?
Not yet. Nope. Not until the end of the extended task.
Got to do the extended task. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's connected with that. Okay,
Okay.
good. But now you're feeling that there's more than science at work here, or the kind of science I should say. All right, good move, Dr. Viral. Good with the mind meld. BC suggesting that. Okay, cool. So that puts us at the end. That everyone took a turn right on this round. So that's makes our trouble track 3 out of 9 completed. And the setback that happens at this point, part of the extended consequence, is the complication range for the ship has now gone 17 to 20. So before we were at 1820, the turbulence and the conditions on the other ship are getting so bad, kind of things are breaking apart, that comp range is now 17 to 20 with that event. I love these extended consequences. So let me go ahead and update your thing. Why don't BC? Why don't you start? What is this ship experiencing from your vantage point?
The occasional jitter, ranging from a little bit of shaking in the chair to the occasional awkward jerk. One of the yeomans has spilled coffee over near the railing that that goes around the bridge.
The ambassador says, "Clumsy fool."
The bridge officers are all very intense, watching, to see if the boarding parties are succeeding in their tasks.
Good. Ensign Tenen, what are you experiencing?
Probably just some jolts and jostles on the bridge while I'm coordinating the recovery teams and keeping the comm line open as best as we can.
Good. And since this is Discovery area, S&W, for no reason, fire comes out of a plumed vent for no reason. Okay.
Random sparks in the background.
Exactly. No reason why. EPS conduits everywhere. Al, what's the Helms officer?
Probably not leaning back in his chair anymore. Probably just like actively two-handing, trying to maintain thrusters to counteract the flow of ions that are bombarding us.
Yeah, things are dangerous. Things are getting really dangerous. And Jax is down at the umbilical cords, experiencing what?
Heading over onto the ship and keeping an eye out for the Talarians that are making their way to us.
Okay. So the doors open at the end of that game. We'll cut scene to there, and the door opens up on the Talarian ship, and there's at first 3 or 4 Talarians who are more than eager to head over to the Challenger. How do you interact with them?
Let's go, come on. Keep it moving.
Okay. And what's your action in this round?
So I see this group here, and we know that there are a couple on the bridge, and there were about 7 coming. So this is about half the people who were coming.
3 on the bridge, 7 were heading toward the umbilical. You just got 4 of them. So there's like 3 on the bridge, 3 still in the ship.
Does it feel like the ship is about to lose its shields and break apart? Or does it feel, okay.
Yeah, when you open, again, if we go look at the traits again, the shield's fluctuating, engines failing, life support, structural integrity collapsing. When those doors opened, plumes and sparks came out following. They're coughing, they're greasy,
Excellent. Not excellent for them. But great for Jaxa. And so I will delegate and say, I'll set 2 security officers here to sort of shepherd them through. I'll get a junior officer to head to the bridge and start evacuating them. And I'll say, I'm going to engineering. I'll get these shields fixed. I'll buy you more time. And I'll hustle down to jury rig the engines, or the shields. Oh, muted.
So you're moving this action down in that direction.
Yeah.
I'll have that little scene end with you getting to the doors, and they're shut. There's a computer panel outside. They're shut, so that we'll. Get you, yeah, we'll get you there. All right. Like an emergency bulkhead, has closed to engineering. As you recall, no one was in engineering. Okay, let's go back to the commander on the ship for orders or what you want to do.
It seems like those bridge officers aren't leaving their station. Ensign, can you communicate over to them, encourage them to hurry along and join the rescue team at the umbilical?
I'll make that an automatic action. The captain was intending to go down with their ship, be the last one off.
Yeah, I'll send a message over to them to remind them that the umbilicals is secure, but it won't last long. So, get it moving.
Mm-hmm. Lieutenant, what can we do to stabilize ourselves?
Yeah, you could attack in game terms, you could attack the turbulence on the umbilicals, right? Which is potency 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna if I may, could I channel reserved power to our thrusters to create a trait?
Yep, and explain, well, when you do reserve power, the purpose of it is to make your ship roll an instant 1, so you get 2 successes. Okay, and then from that, if you get enough momentum, you intend to create a trait with that, right? Got it.
Right.
Okay, cool. All right, so for game purposes, everyone, reserve power is gone, which means you'll have to work to get your reserve power back as an actual action is how it works this time with this spend. But it's totally allowable. So I'll make this a difficulty 2. It's going to have to be difficulty 2. And it sounds like it's going to be your control plus con, right? Because you can use...
and then the ship would probably be helping with engines plus...
Yep. For power, engines plus engineering, I would have to say.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, engines plus engineering for generating the power, right?
Yep.
Okay, so, and we'll go ahead and let BC roll that dice for engines and engineering.
And we're all out of momentum at this time?
2 momentum, I see.
I'll take 1 for a third die.
Cool.
$11, 8. So those are 3 successes.
Nice. And BC?
A 6. 1 success.
Okay, so it automatically rolls a 1 though because it was reserve power. So I don't think you even have to roll it for the ship once you spin reserve power. Yeah, I shouldn't even have you roll that. Okay, so that equals 5 successes, generating 3 momentum.
So, the create trait task goes off, right?
So what were you tackling? The turbulence, because that's an automatic one-off turbulence.
Yes, that was the plan.
Okay.
Right, and then we have 3 momentum. Can we spend those and the one that's in the pool to cancel out 2 more of the turbulence?
You only need 2 to can't. You need.
It's only 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So then
it
I'll
leaves
spend
you
the
with
other
1
to counteract the rest of the turbulence.
Wow.
And put 1 in the pool.
Describe what you did.
Thank you, reserve power.
Describe what you did here. That's great.
So as I'm starting to lean forward and actually take this seriously for a moment, one of the things I do when I'm tapping my fingers is engineering, if there's any of you still left down there, could you please reroute some power to the thrusters? Otherwise, we're going to lose this umbilical altogether. And when I see that light up on my console, I will realign the thrusters and put a little bit more power to them.
Okay, this is important because now you're out of reserve power. So really, you have on the ship on the Jack's already took his turn. He's moving. So really, it's up to Thravik if you want to roll the regain power, like commanding, engineering to do what Al just said, which would be a control plus engineering task difficulty 1 to try to regain power.
Sure. So I am rolling control engineering to instruct the engineering department to do this. Is that this is working?
Yeah.
Okay. What do I have? I don't look like I have anything terribly useful for this. I'm just checking. Yeah, I don't think I have anything helpful here. Can I borrow a point of determination? Oh, what's my difficulty? Is it 2, you said?
Difficulty 1.
Difficulty 1. 2 dice, difficulty 1. Control engineering is a 12. If I buy a die using a point of threat, I activate the intense.
And I like reminding everyone at home that the difficulty for this task increases by 1 each time it is attempted during a scene. That shows that power is getting pulled from different scenes. So
Okay,
difficulty.
I will use a point of momentum to get an additional die.
Okay, that puts us at 0 momentum.
I think that puts us at 1,
Oh.
if my math was right. Because
Yeah,
Al
I've
had
got
1, generated 3, which put us to 4, and then spent 2 to get rid of
You're
the
right.
second part of the trait.
Okay, so we're left with 1. Got it. Thank you.
So good news, I got a 1 and 2 14s. So the 2 14s are dead to me, but the 1...
Ah, nice. And generates 1 momentum, so you're back at 2 in the pool.
Sweet.
Okay, so your orders get the power pumping because you guys are in the emergency situation here. Did you want another Tenon? You still have a roll if you want one. You did a minor action of hailing. Do you want to do anything else? You haven't rolled yet in this round.
Let me look at the traits here. So we've taken out the turbulence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll send over the updated one right now.
We can't really impact the. Well, you know, I could. Well, well, you can do more than one minor action in a round, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So with my my engineering knowledge, could we use our tractor beam to help stabilize the Talarian ships to counteract the structural integrity field failing?
Yes, and in fact, if you do that successfully, I'll even buy you a little bit more time on that extended consequence.
I think I'll use a minor action to scoot over to the engineering panel, and I'll just take the initiative because I know the commander's busy doing other stuff, and I'll just see if I can. I have an idea. I'll see if we can stabilize the structural integrity field. So I'll attempt that. I guess that would be. I don't know. What do you think? Control engineering.
Well, this is going to take. I just want to say this will take power too.
We just got reserve power back, didn't we?
Correct. So I just want everyone to know, and then regaining it will be difficulty 2 next time. Just so, okay. Right. So I think it's great. I'm all for it. Yes.
Let me recouch this then, Commander. I think we can use the pivot. Commander, I think we could use the tractor beam to stabilize the Talarian freighter to buy us a little bit more time. What do you think?
Good thinking, Ensign. Good thinking. Make it happen.
Okay,
all right.
Scoot over to the engineering panel, and I will attempt to do so.
So this will be control plus security, and this is going to be normally this is a difficulty 2 task, but because we have the structural integrity collapse, no, you're attacking the trait. Never mind. So this is going to be control plus security, and then we'll have BC. You'll roll structure and security for the ship, difficulty 2, and you're in close range, which is why you can do this.
And we have momentum left over.
2 momentum.
All right, I'll spend 1 of those for the extra die. My target number is 14. Let's see, I rolled a 14, a 12, and a 14.
Nice.
Just snuck by on three successes.
Okay, so you got 1 momentum so far. BC?
By that much.
Okay, so very good. I am erasing the structural integrity collapsing.
Yep, and my untapped potential. Oh wait, you know what? Oh wait, no, this one would impact the. Never mind. The technical expertise won't help. But I did roll a 6 on my untapped potential, so that gives us a bonus momentum.
Oh wow! And how are you going to spend that?
Oh gosh. I'm looking at the traits. We've taken care of the structural. We've stabilized the structural integrity.
What if the Talarian diplomats are impressed by all of our efforts at this point, and they're no longer as irritated?
Well, you know we have that other momentum, right?
We got 2 in the pool plus your bonus.
Yeah.
So how about I spend the bonus momentum and 1 other momentum to create a new trait called the Talarian crew is well disposed toward us because we're doing a really good job helping them get off their ship in one piece.
That would be the same effect as taking away the other trait, highly irritated Talarian delegation. Do you want to delete that, or do you just want one to counterbalance it?
I didn't see that one. Oh, it's right there on the top. Yeah, let's take that one away.
Okay, cool. Makes sense. Good job. Okay.
2 traits. Woo, woo,
So the
woo.
ambassador's there. You know, the ship is shaking. Everything's going on. He's watching all of you work. You feel, because you're a Betazoid, you feel how he's like, his honor system is really cutting in here, because Talarians are big on honor, right? And he catches your eye. Do you say anything?
Yeah. I'll be at the engineering console, and I'll be stabilizing the ship with the tractor beam, and I'll look right at him and say, we were able to, I guess I I was able to stabilize the ship with our tractor beam system. That should give your crew enough time to get off that ship.
You're young, but you have the heart of a brave old warrior. All right.
Gratefully, and I'll mirror his action and give him a nod.
Okay, cool. So you bought more time, which is excellent. So we end this with a setback, which is at 6. But before it was going to be 6 at 9. Now it's 6 at 12. So you've actually bought an entire round to push off the consequence with that awesome maneuver. Good job. So attacking those traits. At this same time, so this closes out that round. Let me look. Boom, 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 boom. Yep. Okay, so the evacuation's happening. You're stabilizing this. Ensign Tenon, who also had the comm panel going on over here, notices something. And this has to do with Tenon's tenacious comm skills. Okay? And so we're starting the next round of action, but I'm going to pass it right over to Tenon first. Okay, because you see something funky kind of happening. Now, originally, I set this up so it's an opposed action to see if you can catch it. And unwittingly, you created Tenon's tenacious comm skills, which is, of course, going to take 1 off the difficulty of whatever I roll here. To make this really hard for you, I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 of my threat, which takes me down to 9 threat, so that I can go ahead and roll 4 dice. This is now, again, proficient. So the crew that you're dealing with is 9 and 2, so 11. So I'm going to go ahead and roll and determine what you're trying to figure out. I rolled a 12, a 13, a 14, and an 18. 0 successes. So you're so great with this. This is difficulty 0 for you. You can choose to roll if you want to generate momentum, or I can just give you the answer.
Well, I'm not clear so there's something on my comm panel attracting my attention.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to roll? Because then you can do more obtain information, or...
I'm just not clear what I'm trying to roll, just to identify what it is.
This was supposed to be like a secret message, but it's difficulty 0 now, so...
So what, is it insight or is it control?
I would make this insight plus your engineering.
Insight.
No. It'd be control plus engineering, because of this, what you set up before.
Yeah, I mean, I'll roll.
Okay, and then BC will have you roll comms plus security as the ship on this. So it's difficulty 0, control plus engineering, and deep space communications technology applies.
Wait, the deep space technology focus applies?
Yeah.
And how much momentum do we have right now?
1.
I'm gonna spend 1.
You know this is difficulty 0, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, just making sure.
Yeah. I'm hoping one of my talents might come into play. All right, so my target number is 15. I rolled a 1, an 8, and a 17, so that's 3 successes, and then the ship, whatever the ship rolled.
Not only didn't succeed, but got an 18.
Oh no!
Now I'll add that directly to threat. So my threat pool is now 11, and momentum, you have 3 momentum.
And wait, Jim, you said you rolled a 17 too,
Yeah.
right? Isn't that a complication as well?
Ooh,
Was the complication level higher?
17 to 20 now, yeah. So I'll put that all into my threat bank pool for 13 threat.
Okay, and then for untap potential, I rolled a 1, so that's a bonus momentum.
Okay, so you'll sit on that bonus momentum while I tell you what's up here. All right, so you see a little red blinking light back on the con. You know, you're sitting there in your pride, all happy that you helped with the structural integrity, but your eye catches something, and you pick up a transmission coming from somewhere on the Challenger and going to Captain Czar's Talarian warship.
The warship. That's not this one. It's a different ship.
The one that's going to attack the
Right.
colony. You're picking up a transmission from the Challenger
The Challenger.
directly
What?
on what was supposed to be an encrypted line. But your
Hmm.
tenacious comm skills, which was running all these different subspace frequencies, caught this.
All right. Well, I'll scoot over back to my communications panel and attempt to track that down.
You haven't obtained information, right? So you
Yeah,
have
well, I
one.
use the bonus momentum to obtain information. Where is that signal originating from?
It's coming from the quarters that house the two attaches.
Uh-huh.
Always the
Right.
attaches.
You have 3 momentum left.
Okay, then I'm going to say, I guess as a free action, Commander, I have a coded transmission coming from the quarters of the two attaches directly to the warship. Should I send a security team to secure them?
Ambassador Kevdar hears you and says, "Impossible."
Look, I'll show him.
Thoravic's going to stand up from the chair, full height, and look at the ambassador and say, I hope this is a mistake of some sort, given the danger that we've put ourselves into to rescue your people.
I gave no such order to transmit anything to this Captain Czar.
But I'm sure that you are just as invested as I am in getting to the bottom of this and holding those responsible accountable.
Okay, use momentum for anything else, or?
I think I may just take the initiative here. I'm going to spend 2 of those momentum and create a trait of security team to go not to apprehend them, but be like stationed near that near those quarters, so that if they do try to make an escape or something, we have an opportunity to delay them before something happens.
Okay, and so who is
heightened security around the attaches?
Okay, I'll put security team there. Good. And who's going down? What are the orders, Commander?
I think we should be more active than this. Like, I think that if they're sending secret communications, that it might be time to like put them in the brig.
What are we seeing happen on the TV show? I need to visualize what's happening in this scene.
I think Thoravic's gonna go to the arm of the chair and punch one of the communication buttons and say, security, I need you to enter into the current quarters that are housing the two attaches. I need you to search them for communication devices. If one of them has a communication device, bring that one to the bridge.
This is where Michael plays TV show. On the TV show, one of the starring characters would be involved in this action. So I play, let's be the TV show still. And yes, sometimes it's illogical. Why is this person leaves the chair? But I'd still play, this is a TV show. So let's try this one more time. What would happen in the TV show?
Okay, so things are relatively stable here. As the head of security, it feels like it's probably something that I should deal with. All right. Things are stable at the moment. Lieutenant, you have command. I'm going to personally oversee this situation.
All right. Do you take anyone with you?
Maybe I'll bring the ambassador with me, because I kind of feel like his presence might be valuable.
Commander, I'll have a security team waiting to join you when you get to that deck 6 or whatever.
Thank you.
Is Tenon going at all or staying on the bridge?
No, but I'm spending that momentum to have that security team meet the commander at the appropriate location.
Yeah, I was just asking if you wanted to go. That was my question. For the sake of the scene.
No, I think we need a player character on the bridge just in case.
Well, you do. You have the helmsman.
We have the lieutenant.
Oh, we got Kamal. That's right.
But also, as a communications officer, you might be really good at being able to find secret communication devices.
That's true.
So, yeah, I'm gonna do the little finger gesture at Hansen as if to say, "Follow me."
Yeah.
Oh,
That wasn't railroading, by the way. I was just helping structure the scene, everyone. Just your,
but
ahead
I'm
of your
also trying to be a good ensign and not go places where I'm not ordered to go.
All right. I'm here trying to develop characters, so for your own sake.
But the commander wants me to join him, so I will do.
Okay, cool. So Kamal, you have a turn because they're moving this action, right? They're going to be moving. Anything you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, so the comms station is open now, correct?
Well, someone goes and sits there.
Yeah. Well, I'll go. Yeah, yeah. So I will go to the center seat and lean back in it like I was earlier, and um, I'll say, "All right, let's get to work decrypting whatever that message was, and
One momentum, and you'll know.
keep her stable." Yeah, I mean, I would absolutely do that. Like, what was that message that was sent?
Perfect. Okay, and this, of course, I'll say it's automatically transmitted to the captain and tenant on their way there. So you hear the voice of Attaché Rimtack. This is the female Talarian, the one who smelled like lavender. The other one's called Solovan, if you want to remember. The other attaché was Attaché Solovan. He had a limp. But you hear the voice of Attaché Rimtack speaking and saying, "This was all worth it for you. I love you. We will get our borders back. And the Challenger will never leave this nebula." And you hear a voice come back, garbled, like it's been, statically changed, through the thing. And it says, "Well, this was timed perfectly. All those brave soldiers who were willing to create this distraction and to so willingly sacrifice themselves to destroy the Challenger so that we can get on with our mission was worth it. I love you. I love you, Rimtack, and I you. This has truly been a test of honor." Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
So, did we actually believe that the message was being sent to the vessel on its way to Sigma Chlor?
Confirmed.
Okay. Interesting.
Definitely sitting there. And you now all know that the freighter is a
It's a
Diversion.
it's a bomb.
all right. So that's that you have that information, and that will I'm gonna skip Viral at this point, and let me look here. Yep, I'm gonna stop that, and now we end with the event to end this act 2. Okay, so you have that info. Oh, go ahead, Meric.
Didn't I move at
Did
the
you
end
just
of
turn
last
yet?
one? No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't. Okay, so you're at the door. Fantastic.
Yeah.
You don't know this information yet.
Nope.
Right. This right. You don't know this information. So you're at the door to engineering. What do you do?
I'm here to reinforce the shields. At this point, I don't even know that the umbilical has been saved. Venjaxa is like, "I'm going to boost these shields, jury rig it, and extend them over the umbilical. I'm going to make sure that it's safe, and we're buying more time for other people. Why is this door sealed?"
Okay. So you're gonna try to get through the door.
Yeah, I'll try and get through the door. I mean, I'll pull out the tricorder with an abundance of safety and check,
Okay.
scanning on the other side. Is it empty vacuum or full of
Got it.
warp
Okay.
plasma?
Sure. You're using the tricorder, so I'm gonna go ahead and make this for you reason plus science,
Okay.
and this is going to be difficulty 1.
Okay, so I'll just roll that. Target number 13. I got a 7 and a 10, so 2 successes, so 1 momentum.
Okay, fantastic. You are sensing a buildup in the ship's warp core,
Okay, so if I can use that 1 momentum.
and radiation is in the area too.
Yeah, so if I can use that 1 momentum to obtain information and say, like, how long until it explodes, or if it's clear that it's, like, a lot, how long will I be able to manage in there?
when you try to access the controls, the computer to get that kind of information, because hey, you're rescuing these people, right? The engineering computers, the control engineering, are locked out and locked in. So it has what you would best define almost as a countdown going on.
Okay. So at this point, then Jaxa says, "This was deliberate," and I'll hit the comm badge to go to my security team, and I'll say, "Lieutenant, get me connected with the captain of this ship.
Okay, they're walking on the corridor heading toward this ship, the Talarian ship?
Of the Talarian ship. I'll say,
okay.
Captain, this is sabotage. I need your access codes to get into engineering and save the ship."
And you simply hear, "I don't think so."
Double sabotage.
No.
All right. So then, coming toward the end of this act, we remember you had succeeded Dr. Viral in the last task, and so this sparked another event. Oh, this is really good. I have to say, this is coming up. It sparks an event where Tenon, who's accompanying the commander and the ambassador heading to the quarters, all of a sudden doubles over, hit with nausea 2. Okay. And you see this commander all of a sudden, just almost falls over. What do you do? Tenon, how do you
Grab the ensign by the shoulder. Steady yourself. Are you okay?
I don't know what happened. A sudden wave of nausea hit me.
All right. In addition, at this point, back on the bridge with I keep forgetting your last name. Kamal. Because remember, you have the link that Tenon set up with the colony now. The colony is able to transmit through subspace. Tenon's really come out the hero on this one. I don't know if any of you notice this. But because of that, the colony sends an emergency distress signal. Because, Meric, get the picture ready, because you're going to want to show it to everybody. All right?
All right.
You're going to drop it in the chat. Because they all of a sudden have a huge cosmic anomaly appearing over their colony in space. And so he's going to go ahead and share that with everybody and also in our Discord channel for everyone to soak in.
Coming up. There it is.
So the colony transmits to the view screen. Of course, only Kamal can see this at the point, is you see this huge distortion that the colony is transmitting, that something is forming above them. And the sensor readouts indicate another shift in the borders. End of Act 2.
Ooh. Can I just...
How interesting.
Can I also just declare that Ven Jaxa is like sprinting back to the umbilical and on the comms being like, "Evacuate the ship! We need to pull away!"
Perfect. Anybody else closing scene with your character?
I think that the commander is staring intently at the ambassador and shows the message on the I have a pad. Shows the message on the pad to the ambassador and says, "You have a lot of explaining to do."
Okay. I ended up with one of those close-ups on him with the music coming in, you know.
And I think Kamal would definitely actually probably stand up at the chair, just staring at the screen and just like wide-eyed, no longer relaxed. You could definitely tell that he's shaken.
Good, yeah. And all the sensors on this, ship are going crazy, trying to figure out what the colonists are sending over. All right, that's awesome. End of Act 2.
Awesome.
Super cool.
Come back next week all for the final chapter in Test of Honor, and we'll also do our gratitude then.
All right.